go and see the world and just show them what it really means to live life golden. Yeah, we're golden, baby girl, we're golden. They're about to see us shine, cause we're golden.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since we made a video for you guys, and we really want to apologize for not being able to make videos. You know, we started new jobs, started moving, you know, life just happens, but you know, we're really back and we're really excited to start creating content for you guys. And we came back with a brand new sponsorship. Shout out Mars Hydro. They're going to be providing us a 2x4 tent. We've rocked with 2x4 before, so nothing too unfamiliar to us, but first time with Mars Hydro. And at the same time, they provided us with a banging 2x4 light. It's going to be the SP3000. It's going to be the perfect size light for this tent. Basically, this video is going to be a combination of a couple different things, just kind of what you need to start growing. Tent, it's going to be your carbon filter, your inline fan, and your ducting. All three of those kind of, you know, go hand in hand to provide the ventilation for your tent. It's going to be some rope ratchets for your light and hanging your light. Same with the little straps right there. And then a fan is needed for the ventilation and, you know, oscillation inside the tent. Little Wise camera if you really want to. I'm basically going to jump right into building the tent. It's going to be sped up, and I'm going to be talking a little bit through it. Alright, so first off, before I start building my tent, I just like to organize my work area, you know, make sure everything's laid out. I have everything accessible when I need to, and anything that I don't need for the current building is just, you know, completely out of the way. You know, that shit frustrates me to build on basically a dirty surface or something like that. So what I'm going to do is when I start building, the easiest way I found to assemble the tent is by building basically two of the frames. So I'll start by building the bottom frame that you see me doing right here, or the top frame. They're basically interchangeable, it doesn't really matter. But basically I'm going to start building these two frames. Once I have one frame built, I'm going to put it off to the side, and then I'm going to start on the next frame. Alright, let's move this frame off to the side. Now we're going to start on the second frame. Just building the second frame. You're going to see why I do this. I feel like it's beneficial to me to build the frame this way. It allows me to insert my runoff cage, or whatever you want to call it. A lot of people have been interested in it, so it's going to be a separate little video within this showing you how I insert my runoff cage and basically how I build my tent, because it is built within my tent. So anyone who's not trying to see that or is not interested in that, don't worry, I'll give a section so you can skip that part as well. So now what I like to do is I like to insert the bottom of my basically the bottom of my frame. I'm going to open up this 2x4 tent. I'm going to lay it so I can see the floor flat, and I like to build it from the bottom up. Some people do it a little differently. I think the manual may even tell you to do a little differently, but this is the way I like to do it. So I basically put the bottom of the frame fully flush on the inside of that, so I can basically create a surface, and then I insert the 4 poles standing up. This allows me to basically manipulate the inside of the tent to basically my will, but it also allows me to do the next part that I'm about to show you with my metal cage. And that's going to be a little interesting. So anyone who wants to see that, stay around. Alright, all we're doing here is we're matching up the 4 corners of the metal cage with the 4 poles of the inside of the tent. It doesn't measure exactly 2x4, but it's pretty close, you know. It's going to hit on the inside of the tent frame. Just be careful when you're putting it down like I am right here. You don't want any rips or anything like that. You don't want any light leaks that could be caused because of the rips. So basically right now I'm just making sure that none of it's getting ripped on the way down, making sure all the corners are in and touching the bottom of the frame. And I'm going to go in and show you guys what that looks like. And this is basically it, just showing you on the tent frame how it sits flush with it. I'm even going to give you a demonstration to show how heavy and how sturdy it is. It can support my 170-pound weight pretty easily, and then it has a 6-inch gap at the bottom to raise up to be able to collect your runoff very easily. Alright, and then it's really just back to building the rest of the tent after the metal grate is put in, just assembling the 4 corners like so. And then it's just really putting on the tent fabric, or whatever you want to call it, material. Does take a little struggling getting on, little wiggle waggle here and there, but you'll be able to get it on. I'm not going to make you guys sit here and watch me struggle with this. It did take me about 5 to 10 minutes, but once it's on, your tent is basically assembled. So I'm just going to skip right to the end of that. Alright, and here we have it. The tent is assembled. Just doing the little last touch up right here, and then I'm going to turn it around. basically that's going to be your tent assembling guide from start to finish. That's how I recommend doing it for, my kind of setup and how I like to do it. Built the whole tent even with my grate from start to finish within about 30 minutes. And then now I'm going to get into doing the rest of the tent. This is basically just the inside of the tent. I'm going to show you what it looks like, how the top looks, and how everything got assembled. The next thing up is going to be installing the carbon filter and the AC Infinity tent. So this is your AC Infinity fan and your carbon filter and your ducting. It's going to control about 90% of the ventilation within your grow tent. You just want to make sure you're either doing it one or two ways, pushing air through your carbon filter or sucking air through it. I'm going to be showing you in a second with the arrows pointing down. This is pushing through the carbon filter. This is going to scrub the air as long as you're having it push through, or you can do it the way I'm going to do it in my tent, and I'm going to install in this top right hand corner, and I'm going to be venting out. So I'll show you exactly how I like to vent my grow tent. So this is basically just a sped up version of me installing my ventilation system. I'm going to start with the carbon filter first. It's easier to figure out where your carbon filter is going to go and then kind of draw a path of your AC Infinity right next to it or whatever inline fan you're using, and then just give yourself enough space to install your ducting right there. Generally goes in a straight line. I have seen some people put it on the very far right side in your tent with that 2-foot gap clearance. It's just everything's a lot closer. I like to run my ventilation system like this, running it across the back side of the tent, similar to what I'm doing now. It's going to all connect into one, venting out that top right hand corner like I said. So I'm basically just going to let the video rock out with some music right now, same music we've been playing, and I'll see you guys at the end of it. I do want to apologize. The camera did cut out before I was able to record putting in the vent ducting, but basically it just connects to that far right end, goes up, and it goes over the tent. What I really wanted to talk to you guys about was the AC Infinity that I'm using. I'm finally getting around to it, and the reason I'm using it is because the Bluetooth connectivity. I'm not really sure how many other inline fans on the market have Bluetooth connectivity, but this basically allows me to check my tent settings, my temperature, anywhere in the house, and control it from my phone if I want to speed it up, if I want to slow it down. I can also set alarms for high temperature or high humidity, or low temperature and low humidity, so it really just gives me that peace of mind. If you guys haven't really checked it out, I would definitely recommend checking it out. Now we're getting into the final part of your grow tent setup, and that's going to be hanging your light. Now, depending on what light you have, it's going to be different hanging requirements and maybe different hanging techniques. The one we have is basically just a straight bar across, so it's just one pulley on each side. You could use a rope ratchet. That's what we're going to be using. Connect them to the pulleys and just really just pull straight up. I'm using the crossbar in the middle, or the hang bar as people call it, just give it that extra support. It's really going to be it. That's really going to wrap up the end of our video. Shout out to Mars Hydro for providing us this light in this tent. Really excited for this sponsorship going forward. They really, pulled out all the stops, gave us a whole tent and a whole light, and really we're excited for this grow. We're going to be growing 6, I believe, plants in here. I think we're going to be doing a veg and maybe a flower cycle type vibe. Haven't fully decided yet, but I'm really excited for what we're going to be doing in the future. And you guys can always check in on us and really rock with us through our Instagram if you want to as well. We're going to be having 2 Instagrams, doing promotions, giveaways. Mars Hydro was also generous enough to provide a discount code off their entire website. So if you were looking for any type of grow accessories or grow equipment, check them out at marshydro.com. I'll also link it in the description below. But you can use the Grow Bros discount code. It's going to be Grow Bros. That's right, GROWBROS. It's going to be Grow Bros for the discount. Get 3% off the entire website. So if you were looking to check it out, you could rock with us. Use that discount code. Really help us out. But as you can see, this SP3000 light is banging. It's going to provide some great results. Keep rocking with us. As always, peace out, guys.
you.